Earlier on in the semester, I sat down with Dalton Pittenger, the student director of the UCM production of Not Waving, and discussed him traveling the show. This past weekend, the show performed at home in the Black Box Theater on campus. Pittenger explains what the break in rehearsal meant for the show.
There were some new connections emotionally. In one scene in particular, the protagonist, her name is Crandall, she sort of comes to this revelation when she realizes that her mom is going through all sorts of stuff that she didn't realize. And the intensity of that scene really increased after the break for whatever reason, and it was excellent. The truth really was there, and I hadn't noticed, anything wrong with it before, but it was 10 times better when we came back, and so that was really cool to see. The whole time you're off, you're thinking about it. You can't ever totally get it out of your mind, especially when you're planning the rest of your semester. So you're thinking about your character and how they felt and how this moment went, and even then when you're trying to recall what you did previously, you're definitely going to interject some of those new discoveries in, whether you're trying to or not. I'm not sure that the cast made a conscious effort to change the show after they came back, but it certainly happened that way, and so that was really cool to sort of see from an educational standpoint.
Everything was not so smooth, though. Pittenger describes one of the challenges the cast faced just days before the show.
We had an actress who was unfortunately, against her will. It was a situation totally out of our control, out of her control. She'd been on the road with us. She wasn't able to perform with us back here. And we didn't get final confirmation that she wouldn't be back until Tuesday with us opening the show on Thursday. So we had our final dress, and then it was time to open. So as soon as we got word of that, we contacted who we thought could come in and fill in that role. Of course, the actress had a script, and it was great. We couldn't have had any better result because she was incredible. She really responded to the text. Watching it, you couldn't really tell that she had a book. She was just so engaged. And that's just a testament to how talented she is as an actress. Every show has some problems that arise, and you see them get handled, and you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. But to know that at the end of the day, you have to make that call, that is a totally different beast.
Pittenger understands that this was a very unique opportunity. He tells us what his biggest takeaways are now that it is all over.
The show must go on, and I think I talked a little bit about that before, but that, as we saw, it really exemplified itself as we went on, and we had different things that we had to solve and changes that we had to make, because we knew the show had to go on. As campy and as goofy as that sounds, that's the way it was, and that's what I knew in the back of my mind when I was making those decisions, that we just had to make it happen. No matter what life threw at us, we had to put that show together because there were people counting on us. And the other biggest takeaway that I have is never to take anything for granted, and to enjoy every moment, because this was a really crazy process. At times, I was confused, I was overwhelmed, but I wouldn't trade any of it for the world in hindsight. It was the last show of my UCM career, and I can't imagine a better way to have gone out. It was a wonderful experience, full of a lot of wonderful people, and I never want to forget that, and I never want to take that for granted, because it really was an awesome experience that I'll probably never get to experience again in quite the same way.
This has been Brock Masters reporting for Lowdown.
This is